Chloe, baby, I need you to read the room because it's not them. It is you, baby. It is you. Hey, y'all, welcome back to Are Y'all Watching, where I review the shit that I like because I know someone else like it too. Now, we are going to be reviewing Heart Hustle Houston, episode 10. Ladies meet up. Ashley, Manira, and Latorria to speak about, past events, the last scene with Chloe that went up Schitt's Creek. They just trying to figure out what is going on with her because they pretty much say this is not Chloe, and they just trying to figure out what is happening. Nobody has came up with the proper conclusion of what is happening, but they are showing that they are concerned for their friend, which is good. At least they know it's typically not her. They also discussed the upcoming trip that Manira is planning, which hope that this will bring, some type of unity within the friend group. Um, Doubtful, but at least there's effort there. All right. So now we see Latoria and Chloe meet up. They're discussing, what's going on. Latoria really is wanting to figure out what's going on with her friend, even though she's been hurt with her friend by her friend. She definitely wants to know what is going on, and then also let her know about the upcoming ladies trip. Um, she pretty much look. Chloe pretty much was like not really excited about the girls trip, the mention of the girl trip, especially when she figured out that Manira is planning it. Throwing some shade towards her. Not thinking Manira can throw a good getaway. Um, After that, Latoria pretty much is like, hey, I want to discuss, how you make me feel about, things that has happened between us. And of course, Latoria with her sassy mouth is just not hearing it. Yeah, there's pretty much no conversation with Chloe because she is going to go for the last word. She has this defense wall up that she think is protecting her, but it is making things worse for her. She's gonna have to let something go because people are fed up. People are fed up, and people are not understanding why. At this because she is always on 10. Like it's a 10, and she doesn't understand. It's like everybody is speaking Spanish and she's the only one speaking French. I don't know. It's just crazy how Chloe does not understand what is happening. Like literally, I can't even believe we are going to say it's because of her medicine. I really do think it's something else. But anyway, we see the ladies meet up at their staycation, which is in Round Top, Texas. Pretty place. I live in Texas, so I do know about Round Top. But the ladies arrive, and they are happy. They high spirit, ready to, have fun, release, and hopefully unite. Um, we see Manira pretty pleased on with her place. Ro, Ashley are happy of the place. Pleased, Latoria's pleased. Everyone's pleased so far in here. We see Chloe, who, first things first, she realized everyone is wearing different clothing. I didn't know that would cause an issue a little bit, but she throws the shade, just slight shade about the outfit. And then, they get to talking, and then they're discussing, upcoming events, which is LaBrina's husband's retirement party. Chloe was like, realized she wasn't invited, um, which was kind of maybe hurtful to her, but she was more of like, wow, I wasn't invited. And then she also found out that the friend group also has a text thread without her. So that was another thing. So at this particular point, I think this is where Chloe was like, well, why am I in this friend group if no one's even talking to me? Valid. But you are causing these issues, so nobody wants to talk to you. So we get to that part. We see Ashley and Brina in another room where they are discussing Chloe on the back end. But they discussing Chloe, but not discussing Chloe because they're not really throwing any names out, which is cool because that's how Brina works. She let everybody else fill in the blanks for her. But anyway, um, Brina is in her back cave right now, trying to stay out of trouble, for the most part. And then we see them, just talking, catching up. Nothing serious in that scene. Then we get back into the room where Chloe's, walks up and, throws a little shade at Manira. And Manira is like, well, dang, I don't need to drink because to have fun. I know how to, pick good places. I do this. This is what I do. But Chloe throws that shade at her, and Manira didn't care for it. But instead of fighting fire with fire, Manira was, gently asked Chloe, "Hey, are you okay?" And Chloe took offense to it. That's where everything just went downhill. It was just like Manira Manira was like, whoa, 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 whoa. How me asking you a question about if you're okay turned into all of this disruption, So we see, Ro is trying to talk to her and, explain things, gently to Chloe and let her know this is why people are not understanding what's going on with you. Why do you keep digging when there's no reason to dig? You say you plan, but you are serious when you are saying these things. People will brush it off, but at this particular point, we can't brush it off no longer because we're not happy right now. We're not happy with your actions. We're not happy about the way you move. We're just not happy. Um, Chloe just refused to understand what Ro was explaining to her. To Latorria was trying to explain to her as well. So, the things was very disheartening because of the fact that you can really see Chloe just don't understand how her friends. So at this particular point, Ro finally just took the L and realized there's no talking to Chloe, which makes it to where she basically goes and start discussing the drama with LaBrina. And as soon as LaBrina hears about the drama, LaBrina is lit. It's like, boom, we can come out of hiding now because we know for a fact it won't be me on this trip this time. Nobody is worried about me and the issues that I have caused in the past. It's all on Chloe. One thing I will say is that you know, Ro demonstrated how good of a friend she was before, not talking business, but when she's done with you, she's gonna tell your business. And she did that. She told Chloe's little business, even though it's nothing major because it's on the TV, we see it, but for her to give it to the friend group, that pretty much lets you know Ro is done, basically. But back to Chloe, she calls Jordan, try to explain the situation and just tearful and all. And here come Jordan is like, well, you don't shut up. And she just stops crying. It's like you have to be harsh with her, but the friends are being harsh to her too as well. So I don't understand why when Jordan says it she can accept it, but when her friend says she's not accepting it, I don't know what that is about. Or is she not accepting it at all and she's just trying to be quiet because that's her man? She's still going to continue what she's doing, but basically that's it. Now we see Latorria trying to be the voice of reasoning. Um, she's telling her, I really want you to understand nobody's against you, but we trying to figure out why you take digs at people and you're not, sensitive of what's going on. Basically Latoya is just putting down things and Chloe is not picking it up. Not picking it up at all. You know, Chloe pretended like she was there to understand, asked what can I do. Latoya tells her, just listen, don't interrupt me while I'm speaking. And here comes Chloe. As soon as Latoya starts talking, like she refuses to let anyone talk on her. And at that particular point, Latoya, gave up. You can see it in her face. And then what Chloe did was just wild to me, to where she just started deflecting. And she went back to Manira. Like, why would you go back to Manira? What was the reason of you going back to Manira? She ain't had nothing to do with the conversation right now. Like, you deflect, you don't want anybody to look at you, but the thing is, they all are looking at you and they are saying you are the problem starter, baby. You are the problem starter. So Manira talks to Ro. They're trying to understand, what happened. And like I said before, Ro is like done. She's done. She's done. Telling, mentioning the business of Chloe. Um, to Manira as well. Then after that scene, we see Jordan arriving. Latorria meets up with Jordan outside before he gets to talk to Chloe. And Latorria is really telling Jordan, look, she's off the hinge at this particular point. We don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And this is my last straw. That's pretty much how Latorria is presenting it. You know, Jordan, you can see Jordan accepting and listening and trying to figure out. But my question to Jordan is this what you thought being with a mature woman was going to be like? Because you could have stayed with the young girls if this is the case, because Chloe is on another level of grown women. Because, dang, she is a headache. She is a headache. Either way it goes, you know, Chloe is trying to um, leave. And Jordan's like, no, you should stay. Latoria's saying you should stay. You know, they come to have a come together conversation. She decides to stay. Boom. Now we get to the dinner scene, and the ladies are at the table. Latorria has her piece. Latorria, if you mention one more time about you and your seizure, I'm gonna throw a book at you because we are done. I am with Chloe at this particular point. How many times are we gonna talk about you passing out? You're not gonna get the reaction that you want out of me. That's how Chloe is. Chloe is just like Chloe. Chloe looks like she could fall asleep at the table with that crying. And here come Ro. She's not acting the way she should be acting. Like, you can't tell a person how to react. Now, if Chloe wanted to make her friend feel better, she could have put on a show. But why be fake? You know what I'm saying? If you were true friends, your friends know that you do not, you know, you may have less emotions to things. But I agree with Chloe. Stop talking about the seizure. It's over with. You alive. Ain't nothing happened. But you know, Latorria was done. You know, Chloe said one too many things at the table, and it basically made it about her when Latorria was talking. And Chloe wasn't really trying to make it about her. She was really just trying to make a dig like, shoot, you've been through the fire. I'm going through the fire now. And Latorria didn't like it. Nobody liked it. Nobody understood what she was trying to say, which is understandable because Chloe has been throwing all kinds of shade to people. So people don't even know what's shade, what's a joke, what's serious, what's not serious. So Chloe, at this time, it's you will have to fix the issue within the friend group because your sensitivity is not where it needs to be for these ladies because of the past you guys have at this particular point, and you will need to do some type of fixing with the ladies and just talking and just show your listening skills. I know you learned this in school. Just sit and listen. Shoot, you can even fake listen and blank out if you have to, but just listen without a rebuttal. Nobody's coming after you. Your man can say this to you. Just take it from the girls as if it was your man and be done. And then y'all can kumbaya all y'all want to. That's all. That is all. That is all. Unfortunately, how the episode ends, it's just so much drama and tension within the group to where nothing got resolved. Chloe is still looking baffled at what's going on. So we shall see episode 11 if things get resolved. What happens if Tori decides to have another seizure again? But anyway, episode 10 was another good one. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.